everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a mini album to share for Simple Stories. I haven't made a mini album for a while and I absolutely enjoyed making this so much. Here is a quick diagram. If you wanted to pause and note down the measurements now, you can follow along with me. It's extremely easy to make and hopefully those measurements will be helpful. And I'm hoping that they will go onto the Simple Stories blog as well, so you'll be able to see them there. If you need them, just drop me a message. I'll send it to you. It's no problem. Yeah, super easy. So I'm basically making an album. The piece of white card is internal. You don't see that at the end. I'm just making, so I've made like a little prototype to begin with, but you can see all it is a, it's not quite a square, it's a rectangle of white card that I've scored in the middle. I've given myself a 1/2 inch spine because I always feel that my mini books are too big, they have too much in them, too many layers, and therefore I needed a wide spine. So I've gone for 1/2 inch. So I've taken my white piece of cardstock, which is the base of my album, and I'm going to completely cover that in that amazingly beautiful striped paper from the For the Record collection. So you can see there, I'm just sticking that down. I've put loads of tape on it, including a lot around the spine. And then I'm just snipping off the corners, and I'm also going to do little V shapes up to the folds as well. And then you can see that I'm just going to fold those edges over. This is how easy it is. It's so easy. Just folding those edges over. And I'm going to stick those down with some tape, and then I am just going to cover the inside of the album as well. So you won't see any of the white at all, apart from, you know, the tiniest bit in the corners potentially, if you've snipped too much, like I did. So that's that all stuck down. Now I'm going to do the middle piece. So I've just cut another piece the same size as my white cardstock, but made it a fraction smaller. So literally just trimmed off a fraction on two sides. And then I'm adding loads of tape again inside the album. There we go. And I'm just popping that in there, making sure that all of my folds are well burnished. Is that the word? Now the inside of the album is completely covered. Now I didn't trim it enough, so I'm actually going to have to trim those pages down ever so slightly, because when you have a score line inside, it can move a bit and then it can protrude. So I just had to make sure that I made those small enough. Then I'm going to make my pages. The measurement for those is on the little diagram as well. They are 3 inches by 3 inches square. So you need a piece with the spine to be 3 inches tall by 6.5 inches wide. Well, very frustratingly, and I should have thought about this beforehand, the 6x8 paper pad is only 6 inches wide, not 6.5 inches wide. So that meant that restricted me on the patterns that I could use, because I had to then use the patterns vertically. So it depended on which ones were non-directional. So you could change that, or you could use 12x12 papers, and then that would be fine. So you can see there are my pages. I'm going to cut a whole bunch of those, and then all I do is sew them in place. So I just layer them inside each other and then sew them in place on my sewing machine. That is literally it. I am using a piece of another piece of the same striped paper just to cover up the stitching on the sewing machine. I suppose I could have not covered the outside of my album and sewn my pages in first somehow. I'm not sure it would have worked. It wouldn't have worked. So somebody cleverer than me might be able to figure that out. But I couldn't. So I just covered it up with another piece of paper. And you could have a contrasting coloured spine as well. That would look quite cool. And I'm just adding a piece of ribbon, just a standard piece of orangey coloured ribbon around that middle stripe. It kind of matches the stripe, not quite exactly the same shade. And it's just from my stash, and I'm going to tie that in a big bow. So I'm not going to embellish this album on camera, because otherwise my mini albums videos tend to be way too long. But this album is about a day, so it's documenting a day out with my little boy. I took him to London to visit the Great Fire of London monument. He has been studying the Great Fire of London as a topic at school, and has been so captivated by it. It's been lovely. So he really wanted to go to London and see the monument. So off we went, and we climbed 311 steps to get to the top. My goodness, I nearly died. This album documents that day. So all we did was go to the monument, and we found Pudding Lane, and we found the little benches with the London's Burning song on them. So anyone UK based who knows about all of that, it was a really cute little thing to visit. It didn't take very long, but he really enjoyed the adventure of going there and seeing all of those things and learning a bit more about history as well. Like I said, I'm not embellishing on camera. I'm going to go and do that off camera, but you can see all my photos there. I have loads of them. There's about 28 photos, I think, in this album. And in just a moment, I will switch to a flip through of the completed album for you to see in a bit more detail. So, and there should be a speedy one on Instagram as well. Right, here is a flip through of the completed album. You can see that I've embellished the front cover just with one of the foam stickers, Happy Together, as my kind of title. And then down here, I've got the details of what this album is about. So, a visit to the monument of the Great Fire of London, 1666. And I've got the date on there as well, and just a few pretty bits. I didn't do any embellishment on camera, just because I generally don't for mini books, because otherwise my albums will, my videos for making mini albums would last about 4 hours. So I tend not to do the embellishment on screen, but nothing is particularly challenging or difficult. So I've just got a little couple of journaling spots there and some embellishments there, so some floral bits and stickers. Then you can see all the little pages are here, and then at the back I have this back cover, which is nothing really. It doesn't even have any journaling on it. It's just a few from the journaling elements paper and journaling cards, and then some bits and pieces, floral bits and stickers. And then as for the pages themselves, I'll pick up. So that one there, just a little label sticker, do more of what makes you happy. And then here, just a photo with a label. Here, again, a photo and a couple of bits. Then here, another photo, some bits. Here I added some trim and just added a little one of those little tags. They're from the 6x8 paper pad, and they are so cute. So that was just a fun page, really. This one has one of the big titles on, that's raised on foam pads. This one here is I've sewn there and there to create this little pocket. It's not even a pocket, it's just a strip where I can put some things. So I've got some journaling on that little tag there. It's another one from that paper. And then here I've got 2 photos and some journaling on the back. Then this one is just a decorative page, another photo page there with some little bits. Here, just a photo again. Then this one here, which should have been tied up to be beautifully demonstrated. Fail. Obviously we've got to tie it up. So it should be tied in a nice bow. And then I'll undo that. And then you can see that there's a tag on the front there, but underneath is just basically a piece of paper that is wider than my photos, or concertinaed wider, that's slightly wider than my photos. So a long strip there with all the views from the top of the tower, top of the monument. So they all went together, and you can see that I've just done a few little embellishments here and there, but nothing huge. And there's nothing on the back of that one. And then over here on the back, that's us at the top, and again just a few little flowers, a sticker there. So that's the first little booklet done. Put the strings out of the way, and then onto this one at the bottom. So this chronologically goes through from start and then start, events chronological to there, and then they start again here. So this is us going down, and then this is just a little bit of journaling on this decorative page about this photo here. Then this page here, open, so they're both just decorative, but they open out like this. From where I made the initial pages, all I've done is add extra pieces. So I haven't changed anything about the way that I made it. I've just stuck on these pieces of orange that I'd folded onto both sides in order to create those flip outs. So I didn't make any special pages for this. Things just got added on top. So yeah, so he's in 4 different places on these little plinths that we found. They're very cool. Then here we found Pudding Lane, so he's looking there. This is a little pocket here that pulls out, so I've got my photo there and then some information on the back there as well, a little bit of journaling, a bit more trim here, trim there as well, and then another decorative page, another page there, my only landscape photo I think in there, and then here is just the final page on our way home after a great day. So that is my mini album. It's super cute. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I love all the little interactive parts in it as well. There's not loads, but there's some, and yeah, I think the whole thing looks really cute, and I'm super happy to have documented that day out. So here are a few close-up photos of the finished pages. You should be able to see more close-ups on the Simple Stories blog. It's so hard, isn't it, to show all the details from a little mini album. So I'm hoping the flip through did most of it for you. But here I say are a few of the pages up front. I had an absolute blast making this album. The For the Record collection is so lovely. It's really generic. I think some improvements have been made to the this type of collection, the one that's the monthly documenting one. And this is definitely my favourite one yet. So do check it out. And thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories using the For the Record collection.